Democrats in the Michigan Senate have finalized work on a series of energy bills that have split directly down party lines.
Political reporter Rick Albin in studio tonight with what two area senators have to say about this new approach to energy. Rick.
Sue and Brian, at a time when the state seems heavily focused on and invested in new manufacturing in the state that will require more energy and more reliable energy, Republicans and Democrats are at odds about how to do that. The bills Democrats passed in the Senate would focus heavily on renewable energy, wind, solar. Republicans say that bills take away local control for some zoning and would make energy more expensive and less reliable. Democrats say the move would move Michigan ahead of other states by using renewable sources for energy production. Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brink says the plan is about looking to the future.
These bills really get us to a 100% clean energy standard by 2040. It's an ambitious goal. And then all of the complex details that, take so long for us to really absorb as policymakers, those things all build so that we can achieve that goal. So this gets us cleaner energy. It gets us more reliable energy. It addresses, to the extent that we can as one state, climate change. And it really is going to be a more affordable way to do things.
Republican Senator Mark Eiser says the bills do not meet the needs of the state with such high industrial demand and will not improve the overall energy service in the state.
When you talk about reliability and affordability, the argument is that solar cost is going down, which it is. However, you have to take into the capital cost of the property, the development of all this equipment and other infrastructure to make it work. There was a great story in the Wall Street Journal this week that just said that the cost for energy in the state of Wyoming is going up 26%. Their power company, Rocky Mountain Power, said, hey, we can show that this is going to have a decrease in cost with more renewable sources in the future. But for now, we think that there are going to be several assessments that's going to be underway here. I don't think that the legislature nor the people of Michigan want that to happen right now.
Now, those bills are headed to the House where their future is uncertain. The House has their own bills that are similar in nature. There could be a combination of the two bills that move, but only if there are enough Democratic votes in the House. And that means all of them. No Republicans voted for the measures in the Senate. And if that holds true in the House, Democrats will need all 56 of their members to vote in favor, and they likely only have about 6 session days to get that done. Brian?